Do you think dogs just bark, eat, and nap all day? Well, that might be part of their story, but it's far from the whole truth. Have you ever paused to really look at the way they press up against your legs when you're feeling down? Or the way they drop that old chewed-up toy right at your feet, like it's the most precious gift they could give? These aren't just random quirks. These are quiet, intentional gestures. And they might be saying something we've missed all along. You're about to discover 10 powerful behaviors dogs only show to someone they truly love, and never to anyone else. Some of them are so subtle you might have overlooked them. Others might just bring tears to your eyes. If you've ever wondered, does my dog actually love me? This video might just be your answer. Number 1. Through the glass. Waiting. Let's start not with barking or tail wags, but with silence. The kind of silence that sits by the front door, nose pressed lightly against the glass eyes, half closed, yet alert. You're not even home yet, but your dog. Somehow he already knows you're on the way. This isn't guarding. This isn't boredom. This is waiting. Even if you've only been gone a few hours that moment, the one where your eyes meet through the door is a message. One that says, you were missed in every second you were away. Scientists believe dogs can sense your routine, your smell, even the subtle rhythm of your return. But deeper than that, this waiting isn't just about time. It's about bond, about presence, about someone choosing to be still in a world that always moves just because you're worth the pause. And here's what's incredible. They do this for one person. Not everyone. Not the neighbor, not the mailman, not even the one who feeds them the most. Just you. There's something about that pause, that longing gaze, that stillness at the window. It isn't just loyalty. It's love, quiet, persistent, unshakable. And if you've ever seen it, you're already one of the lucky ones. But what comes next isn't quiet at all. Because the moment that door opens, the silence explodes into a celebration meant for only one person, you. Shall we open that door together? Number 2. The welcome that can't be faked. You walk in, keys drop, bag hits the floor, and before your mind even catches up, you hear it, that unmistakable rhythm of paws on wood. Click, clack, click, clack. A blur of fur barrels toward you like a living exclamation mark tail spinning like a fan blade caught in joy. They jump, they spin, they lick, some might call it chaos. But if you slow it down, it's a celebration, a declaration, a wordless symphony that screams, "You're home. My world is whole again." Not every dog greets this way. In fact, many don't. This level of unfiltered joy, it's rare. It's sacred. It's not performed for every visitor or even every family member. It's reserved for the one they imprint on, the one they ache for during quiet hours. And it's not just the greeting. It's the eyes that light up before your hand even touches the doorknob, the way they pace when they sense your footsteps, how their whole body becomes language when words aren't enough. Because to a dog, coming home isn't just a return, it's a reunion of pack, of safety, of love. And in that moment, there's no need to say a word. Your presence is the prize, your scent, the proof, your hand, the homecoming. But what happens when you go from moving to still? When the celebration settles and your body finally rests, there's something your dog might do next, something quieter, but perhaps even more powerful. Let's see what happens when the noise fades, and love decides to sit quietly beside you. Number 3. The silent listener. Evening falls. You sink into the old chair that knows the shape of your back a little too well. The room is quiet, but your thoughts aren't. You haven't said a word, but your sigh says everything. That's when it happens. No call, no command. Just a soft shuffle on the floor. And your dog walks over, no tail wag this time, no playful bounce. Just one small, still act. They gently rest their head on your knee. It's not a trick they learned. It's not a habit. It's presence. Pure, undemanding presence. This moment may seem small, but it's monumental. Because it says, I noticed, and I'm here. Harvard researchers found that dogs can detect changes in your breathing facial muscles, even your heartbeat. Not just when you shout or cry, but when the world feels heavy and you carry it quietly. They feel that. And instead of trying to fix it, they do something rare in this world. They sit with it. With you. They become the silence that wraps around your sorrow like a soft blanket. No advice. No fixing, just being. And isn't that the kind of love we all crave? The kind that doesn't need to speak because it already understands. But don't be fooled. This stillness isn't weakness. It's strength. The kind that watches waits. And when the time is right, acts. And sometimes when you least expect it, that action isn't a cuddle or a lick. It's something surprising. Something playful, something precious. Because what your dog chooses to share next isn't meant for just anyone, ready to see what they're willing to give only to you. Number 4. The gift that can't be bought. It's a quiet afternoon. You're reading or maybe lost in a thought that drifts like dust through the light. Then soft footsteps, a pause, and there it is. That old, chewed-up toy. Placed carefully in front of you. Not tossed, not played with, just offered. And then they sit and wait. You might think they want to play, but watch closely. Sometimes they don't even nudge it again. They don't fetch or tug. They simply look at you like they're offering something sacred. Because in their world, that toy isn't just a thing. It's the thing. The object they carry from room to room, the one they hide under blankets or sleep beside, their treasure. And now, they're giving it to you. It's the canine version of trust, of saying, this matters to me, but you matter more. It's like a child offering their favorite blanket not to lose it, but to let you hold a piece of their heart. This isn't behavior you see every day. Dogs don't give their most precious things to just anyone. Only to those who make them feel safe, known, loved. And if you've ever looked down to see that ragged toy at your feet, placed not dropped, you've been chosen. But what happens when love isn't expressed in giving, but in guarding? When joy becomes duty and affection turns into quiet protection? Because in the next moment, your dog might show you a side you've never fully noticed, the one that steps between you and the world. Let's take a closer look at what happens when love becomes armor. Number 5. The silent shield. You're at the park. The breeze is gentle. The world feels calm. But then someone unfamiliar walks by, too close, too fast. And without warning, your dog shifts. No growl, no bark. Just a stillness. A step forward. A body pressed lightly against your leg, firm, alert, unblinking. To anyone else, it might seem subtle. But to your dog, it's instinct. Protection mode activated without a single command. And here's the truth, they don't do this for everyone. When a dog chooses to step in front of you even slightly, it means something ancient is stirring. A quiet oath. If anything reaches you, it'll have to go through me first. This isn't about fear, it's about belonging. In their eyes, you're not just a person. You're their pack, their responsibility, their heart on 2 legs. Studies have shown that dogs can recognize emotional states, assess threats, and adjust their body language to shield those they love. Not out of training, out of bond. Some dogs might growl, Others might freeze. But the meaning is always the same. I've got you. And if you've ever felt that gentle lean, that silent shield, know this: it wasn't random. It wasn't reflex. It was love wearing armor. But not every gesture is about danger. Some are about surrender, about melting into you, not for defense, but for peace. Because when your dog sees you, not as someone to guard, but as someone safe enough to fall asleep beside, that's a love deeper than instinct. Shall we lie down in that trust just for a moment? Number 6. Where they lay their guard down, night falls. You turn off the lights. The hum of the world fades, replaced by the hush of home. You pull the blanket just so settle into your spot, and then a familiar sound. A soft sigh followed by the gentle rustle of fur, finding its place at the foot of your bed. Or maybe not even the foot. Maybe it's right beside you. Maybe it's pressed close enough for you to feel the rise and fall of their chest, slow and steady as sleep takes them over. This isn't just routine. It's ritual. In the wild, dogs only sleep close to those they trust with their lives. Sleeping is vulnerability, the moment they let down every wall, every defense. And they've chosen to do that with you. They could have curled up anywhere. The couch, their bed, that secret sunny spot by the window. But they didn't. They chose proximity. They chose you. And here's the hidden beauty: they're not just finding safety in your presence. They're offering it too. Their warmth, their breath, their trust. It's not just a dog sleeping. It's a soul saying, "You make me feel safe." And perhaps what's even more moving is that they don't need anything in return. No pet, no reward, just closeness. But love, as you'll see, isn't always soft. Sometimes it speaks through eyes that watch you so closely you can feel them on your skin even when you're not looking back. Because in the next moment, you'll understand what it means when a dog doesn't just see you, but truly reads you. Let's look a little deeper. Number 7. The eyes that speak in silence. There are days when words fail, when your voice hides behind tight lips, and your heart keeps its rhythm just a little too steady. You don't call out, you don't cry, you simply exist. But they notice. From across the room, their eyes find you. Not a quick glance, not a casual look. A gaze steady, quiet, and impossibly deep. It holds, lingers, as if trying to reach into the parts of you no one else sees. Science calls it active eye contact, a behavior only seen in dogs who have bonded deeply with one person. Not curiosity, not begging, connection. In those seconds, something remarkable happens. Your dog isn't just looking at you, they're looking into you, reading the pauses between your breaths, the stillness in your shoulders, the way your hands forget to move. And without a sound, they ask, "Are you okay?" This isn't a trick. This is evolution and emotion meeting in the gaze of a creature who has lived alongside humans for thousands of years. They've learned not just our routines, but our heartbreaks, our joys, our silences. And when their eyes lock onto yours, it's not to demand anything. It's to say, "I'm here. I see you. All of you." But sometimes seeing is not enough. Sometimes love needs to move, needs to act, needs to close the space between two souls with more than a look. And that's when the smallest touch becomes the loudest statement. Let's explore what it really means when your dog places a paw on you. Number 8. The paw that asks nothing but says everything. You're sitting quietly, maybe lost in a swirl of half-finished thoughts, and then, with the gentleness of falling snow, you feel it: a paw, placed lightly on your knee. Not clawing, not pushing, just resting. You glance down, and there they are, eyes lifted, head slightly tilted, waiting, but not for a command. not for a treat, just for you to notice. It's not a demand, it's a question, a whisper through fur and bone. Are you with me? Dogs don't use their paws carelessly. In the wild, the paw is power used to strike, to dig, to move. But here in your living room, it's an olive branch, a soft press that bridges whatever distance might have opened between your world and theirs. Some say it's for attention, others call it affection. But perhaps it's something deeper, a need to feel close, to feel your skin, and know you're real, still here, still theirs. And the beauty lies in its simplicity. No bark, no whine, just a paw, a pulse, and a presence. But what if that small gesture wasn't the only thing they offered? What if the next thing they did wasn't for their comfort, but entirely for yours? Because in a moment, they won't just reach out. They'll let you in. And the way they do it through an act that harks back to their very first memory might just surprise you. Shall we take a closer look? Number 9, the kiss from memory. It catches you off guard. You bend down maybe to tie your shoe or to scratch behind an ear, and suddenly a warm, wet tongue finds your hand, your cheek, your chin. It's quick, sloppy maybe, and before you can react, they've already looked away. But that moment, that lick it, wasn't random. It was a memory. When puppies are born blind and helpless, the first sensation they feel before sight, before understanding, is the tongue of their mother. Cleaning, yes, but more than that, bonding. It's the first touch of love, the first lesson in connection. So when your dog licks you, they aren't just saying hello. They're reaching into that earliest language of comfort and care. They're saying, "You are part of me." It may seem excessive, maybe even annoying, but beneath every swipe of that tongue is a history written in instinct, in warmth, in belonging. Scientists have found that licking can release endorphins in dogs, a way for them to soothe themselves. But when directed at you, it becomes something else, a ritual of intimacy. A moment that draws no line between species, no barrier between heartbeats. You might wipe it away, laugh, tell them to stop. But know this, in that fleeting gesture they've told you something profound. And while it might be the most visible act of affection, it's not the deepest. Because sometimes the real power of love isn't in what's given, but in what's changed. And what if I told you? Your dog may have already changed who they are just to stay by your side. Let's see what quiet transformation looks like when love rewrites instinct. Number 10, the change you never asked for. You didn't notice it at first. It wasn't a sudden thing, no dramatic moment, just small shifts, barely visible. Like how they no longer bark at the delivery man, or how they stopped chewing the corner of the couch, or how they started waiting for you to finish speaking before reacting. And one day, you realize they've changed. Not in the way people do, with effort and struggle, but quietly, naturally, as if some part of them understood what you needed, and simply became it. It might be patience, where there was once chaos, calm, where there was restlessness, a gentle walk beside you, where before there was tugging and wild energy. These aren't tricks, they're choices. Silent adaptations made not out of fear or training, but out of love. Because when a dog truly bonds with someone, they don't just mirror routines. They mold themselves into something softer, something more attuned, more in sync, like a melody that learns to echo the rhythm of your breath. And they do it all without asking for anything back. No applause, no treats, just your happiness, your peace, your presence. They evolve for you. But there's one more thing, one final act of devotion. And it may be so ordinary you've stopped noticing it. Yet, to them, it's everything. The most honest declaration of loyalty, written in footsteps, ready to follow one last trail. Number 11. The shadow that wags you move from one room to the next. The kitchen, the bathroom, up the stairs, down again. And every time you turn around there, they are. Close, quiet, following, like a shadow with a heartbeat. You didn't call them. You didn't even speak. But they come anyway. To outsiders, it might seem like attachment, maybe even clinginess. But to your dog, it's instinct paired with love, a behavior born from wolves and wildness reshaped by centuries of companionship, now distilled into one simple truth. Where you are is where I feel safest. This isn't just routine, it's devotion, an emotional imprint so deep that your presence becomes their anchor, a form of trust so complete that even your footsteps bring comfort. According to behaviorists, dogs that follow their owners around the house aren't needy. They're bonded. This is a behavior rooted in imprinting, where one being becomes emotionally tethered to another. A kind of silent vow that says, I don't need anything else. Just this. Just you. And what's beautiful is that they ask for nothing in return. No eye contact, no reward. Just the assurance that they're near the one who means home. But if that touches your heart, wait until you see what they do when you're hurting. Not physically, emotionally. When you're quiet, withdrawn, maybe even hiding your sadness. Because that's when they show you a kind of love we rarely receive even from other people. Ready to see what empathy in its purest form really looks like. Number 12. The healer who hears without sound. There are days you don't say it out loud. You keep moving, keep smiling, keep doing what needs to be done. But inside, something cracks. A thought you can't shake, a weight you can't name. And that's when you feel it, not a word, not a touch, but a presence. They come to you without being called. Their head lowers, their body softens, and they sit or lean or simply stay. They don't ask questions. They don't try to fix. They just know. Research from Harvard shows that dogs can detect changes in human heart rate, breathing, even facial micro-expressions. But this isn't science to them. This is connection. This is love tuned to frequency. They feel your storm before the clouds even gather. And in that moment, they become more than pets. They become guardians of your silence, witnesses to your invisible. They may not know what sadness is, but they know you. They know when your shoulders droop just a little more than usual, when your hands pause too long between movements, when your eyes look through instead of at. And so they stay, not for comfort, not for reward, just for the simple act of being near when near matters most. But sometimes their response isn't stillness, it's motion, subtle, surprising motion. Because when love meets sadness, it doesn't always sit quietly. Sometimes it brings a gift. And not just any gift, but one that to them means everything. Shall we open it? Number 13. The offering that speaks without words. You're sitting there, maybe tired, maybe not thinking much at all. And then, out of nowhere, it arrives. Not with fanfare, not with barking, just a soft placement, right at your feet. Their favorite toy, worn, frayed, maybe even missing an eye or a limb. It's been dragged through every corner of the house, hidden under cushions, guarded from visitors. It's not just a toy. It's theirs. And now, it's yours. But not forever. Not to keep. Just to hold for a moment. Just to share. Because in a dog's world, this kind of offering isn't a game. It's a gesture. A bridge. A symbol that says, this means the world to me. But today, I want you to have it. Think about it. How often do we humans give away something we cherish? Not because we're done with it, but because we want someone else to feel its meaning. That's what this is. It's not play. It's participation. It's an invitation into their inner circle. And if you've ever seen them sit back and watch you touch that toy without asking for it back, you've been given something rare, something sacred. But as profound as that act may be, there's still one layer deeper. A feeling that can't be shown through toys or paws or even eyes. It's something that stirs when you direct your attention elsewhere. When love reveals itself, not in joy, but in discomfort. Ready to discover what jealousy looks like in a dog's heart. Number 14. The jealous heart. It starts small, a shift, a stare. You're giving attention elsewhere, maybe another pet, a new person, or even just a screen that's held your gaze too long. And then, from the corner of your eye, you catch it. That stillness, that look. Not anger, not defiance, but something else entirely. They inch closer, maybe wedge between you and the object of your attention. Maybe let out a quiet huff or nudge your hand as if to say, "I'm still here, you know." To some, it's amusing, even cute. But what you're seeing is more than that. It's jealousy. Not the petty kind, the pure kind. The kind that rises when someone who's loved you fully feels left out, even for a moment. Studies have shown dogs exhibit behaviors parallel to jealousy in children, blocking, interrupting, inserting themselves between you and whatever has stolen their place. Why? Because your attention to them is not just affection. It's home. And when it drifts even slightly, it feels like the door's been left ajar in a storm. But here's the deeper truth: they don't act this way with everyone. Just with you. Because you're their person. The sun their world spins around. And when that light shifts even briefly, their instinct is to bring it back. Yet even in that jealousy, there is no bitterness, no punishment, just the quiet hope that you'll return, that your hand will find their fur, that your eyes will meet theirs again. And when you do, when that connection is restored, they don't hold on to the hurt. They let it melt, instantly, effortlessly. But love isn't just about claiming. Sometimes it's about choosing to stay. And in the final moment, your dog will show you the one truth that binds everything together. Ready for the last chapter. Number 15. The quiet following. It's barely noticeable at first. You move, they follow. You get up for water, they rise too. You head to the bathroom, and there's the soft tap of paws behind you. Not loud, not intrusive, just there. Always there. It's easy to brush it off. Maybe even sigh. You don't have to follow me everywhere. But to your dog, they do. Because every movement you make is a story they want to be a part of. Every room you enter becomes sacred simply because you're in it. Behaviorists call it emotional imprinting. But your dog doesn't know those words. What they know is this: where you go, I go. Not because I'm lost without you, but because I'm found with you. There's no anxiety in their eyes, no panic, just calm dedication. The rhythm of your life has become the heartbeat of theirs, and they choose again and again to walk it beside you. Even in moments when they seem sleepy, half curled on the rug, they watch. They wait. And the moment you stir, they rise like a shadow shaped by love. And here's the thing: they don't need an invitation. Just your presence. Just the echo of your steps. To you, it might feel ordinary. But to them, it's everything. And maybe that's what makes dogs different. They don't love with conditions. They don't ration their affection. They give all of it, every single day, in every hallway, in every quiet follow, without asking for anything in return. But before we end, let me ask you something. Has your dog ever done any of these little things? Which moment made you stop and think, wow, they really love me? Because if you've seen even one of these signs, then maybe you've been lucky enough to be loved in a way most people never are. Now you see, love from a dog doesn't need grand gestures. It doesn't shout. It doesn't beg. It simply stays. In the eyes that wait behind the glass. In the silence beside your chair. In the nudge of a toy, the brush of a paw, the trail of quiet footsteps that follow you down the hall. It's a love that doesn't need to be explained, only noticed. And if you've felt even a flicker of that, if your dog has ever waited, or watched, or gently laid their head on your lap when you needed it most, then hold on to that. Because not everyone gets to be loved like that. Not everyone becomes the center of a world built on pause and breath and unwavering loyalty. So what about you? What's something your dog did that touched you the most? Was it a look, a gesture, a quiet moment you almost missed? Share it with me in the comments, because the more we notice these little things, the more we realize we were never just owners. We were chosen. If this helped you see your dog in a new way, don't forget to follow. We've got more stories, more science, and more moments that will bring you even closer to your best friend. Because sometimes, the quietest love is the loudest of all.